Well, the fans are gonna get a real treat with what comes next between you and Earthquake. We talked about it. After a brief cool off after his thing with Hogan, you're paired with him following WrestleMania 7. He'll cut a promo on you with Jimmy Hart before the match, and he's doing a lot of shouting, spitting, etc., all of his usual stuff, which was kind of the common practice in wrestling promos of the era. Jake, as we've discussed on a few occasions, this was certainly not your promo style, but it was the accepted standard at the time. As a guy largely considered you the best promo in wrestling history, what do you think when you see these promos from your opponents where they're just going nuts and getting all red faced?
I think about how much easier it could have been for him and how much better it could have been.
So, as you're seeing them just blowing fire and going nuts, like, are you wishing that they would be a little bit more realistic? Or are you happy that that's kind of your sole domain?
If that's what they got to do, that's what they got to do, you know. And I'm certainly not going to judge them for it. Uh, I like the more intellectual interview, but some
Hmm.
can't do it. So if you can't do it, do what you can do.
I think a lot of guys get nervous on the mic too. Like these are athletes most of the time who aren't used to doing like the public speaking thing. So it's just, they start shouting.
Absolutely.
One thing that stands out with his promos is that he makes a lot of earthquake type references where he's talking about shaking and trembling and shit like that. Tugboat would do the same kind of thing during his promos, which is always just ridiculous. So I'm wondering, was there somebody backstage assigned to oversee promos, like feeding them these stupid fucking lines?
You know, they may have been. There certainly may have been.
Man, like the puns and the little innuendos about like tugboat or earthquakes and stuff. It's like, oh, geez. Going back, most of the stuff from the golden era of wrestling is like I watch it fondly. I see that stuff and I'm like, ew. Especially after watching one of your awesome promos, you get that
Yeah.
weird shit.